Well, hello everyone, and you join us here today in the heavily updated, or basically all new 2026 Toyota RAV4, one of the most popular vehicles here in the United States, with like over 470,000 units sold in 2025, which is a pretty crazy figure there. And for 2026, there is dramatic changes. We now have a hybrid-only powertrain. We now have a completely new and refreshed interior. We have a new exterior design, but the overall footprint is largely the same. And this is the RAV4 Hybrid Limited. And just like before, you can get either a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. There is no pure gas model though anymore. And I don't think that's a bad thing, as almost around 50% of the last year's sales or hybrids. So this kind of makes a whole bunch of sense. You're going to get great fuel economy. It's a very reliable powertrain as well. We have 236 horsepower. And of course, we'll dive into all the other fun stuff in our full review, so go watch that. But in this, we're going to take you on a drive and see how it handles out about on the roads. So like I mentioned, 236 horsepower, all-wheel drive. So we have two motors out back, that planetary eCVT gear set up front, compared with an e-motor and that 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. We have this stubby little shifter here, and finally we have a really great reversing camera situation. I think this looks a lot clearer than before, and when you're in park, you can actually access the 360 mode. Before, it was just like spinning in circles. The pre-facelifted infotainment systems. This new software is great. It's quick to react, it's quick to respond, it's really smooth as well. I love the graphics there. And we also have a drive, we have a B mode, and we have a lot of drive modes that we'll kind of play with as we get out on the road. Really nice digital cluster here. There's a lot of different layouts you can have it. Heads-up display, digital rear view mirror. Let's go head off. Well, we might as well start off in sport mode, because why not? This isn't the GR Sport RAV4, but it is still pretty peppy for 236 horsepower. And this will be a nice first impression of how this powertrain reacts as your kind of standard powertrain for this 2026 model year. Nice 60. It's quick. You know, it's not a slow powertrain whatsoever, and I think that's a really great thing to see. 236 horsepower is pretty respectable nowadays. We'll pop it, we'll leave it in sport mode for a second. But yeah, it does not feel lethargically slow. There are some slower vehicles in this class for sure that have a standard, base power range. So this is nice to see actually from Toyota. Steering actually stiffens up in sport mode, and the handling largely doesn't feel dramatically different from the last generation. This isn't an all-new ground-up architecture. This is the very familiar TNGA-K platform we've seen on quite a lot of Toyota and even Lexus products, though it has been refined for this generation. I would say it feels a little bit more confident in going around a corner than before. You still have that really high centered of gravity style feeling. You do sit really high in these RAV4s, and that is the same in this particular generation. I do feel like I'm sitting really high. You have a great amount of visibility around you. This is my lowest seating position actually right now as well, but it feels a little bit more confident going around a corner. I remember the last generation when we had that one in for review, it did feel a little bit top heavy. This one feels like that, but it feels reduced. It feels more controlled for this generation. So that is great to see. I like these drive modes. They actually are doing something different, and the graphics and our digital cluster here are really great. So that was normal there. We also have Eco as well, so you have a green screen that pops up, Sport as we just saw, and there's a custom mode as well which you can configure. And if you find yourself on a trail, you have a trail mode or snow mode as well, but you can always pop it into normal or Eco and just drive around town. And this is where the refinement of this hybrid powertrain comes into play, is around town situations. Toyota is making some of the best hybrid systems in the world, so good that they're packaging it and selling them to quite a few brands now actually that are also using them, which is pretty cool to see. But it just because it's reliable and it works. You get great fuel economy on this RAV4. On normal trips, I always am getting like 35, 45. If you're going really slow in around town situations and can use EV mode, maybe 50 to 60 miles per gallon. It's really crazy. But once you learn how to drive this, you will be saving fuel 100%. I've been driving this now for a week, and I had, I think, 535 miles of a tank. I only have 484 miles on our tank now, so it hasn't gone down that much either, which is really great to see. But efficiency aside, you know, this is overall a very smooth vehicle. The suspension, it feels a little bit more put together than the last generation. I feel like that last generation had a little bit more wobble going on into it. I could feel a little bit more low frequency bumps. This has been a little bit more rounded out, which is nice to see. The steering, you know, it's a RAV4 at the end of the day. This is not a driver's vehicle in this class. And at the end of the day, none of the vehicles in this class are really supposed to be driver's vehicles, though there are some standouts in that regard. But this is a very, I would say, not vague, but lighter steering than expected. Let's try an acceleration here in normal mode. Whoa. Yeah, the electric motor, that electric motor pull, you really do feel that pull here is quite noticeable, and it does a great job at putting traction down. I've only had one case where a little very quick amount of front wheel slip, just because that front end is getting a lot of power with both the combined engine and the e-motor, since those two rear e-motors are separated from our drivetrain. You can hear that external hybrid sound there. Very light hybrid sound, but that is required by law. Now, in those situations right there where you really are accelerating off a start and the engine kicks on instantly because you need full power, it is still pretty of a smooth process overall. Braking performance is actually really good. I have no issues with this brake pedal at all. It's pretty good with feel. It doesn't feel like I have to press deep in to get a lot of brake force, so I have no complaints there. We're about to head out onto the highway, and this is going to be where I kind of notice one of the areas where this could still be refined a little bit more. We'll pop it into sport mode here as we head out onto the highway for you guys. Have a cool graphic change. I do like this new steering wheel. It's actually rather nice to hold. Some body roll in the corners. We don't have any sort of paddle shifters or any manual selection here, which I think is completely fine since this is not a real transmission. Yeah, but this has no issues getting up to speed at all. It's peppy and quick, and you feel, it almost feels turbocharged in that aspect with those electric motor boosts in there. It's actually rather pleasant of a feeling, I have to say. Blind spot warning on the highways, which is great. And as you can hear though, this is where I wish there was some more refinement. And this goes for every single Toyota that has, even Lexus honestly, but they do a better job at canceling out the sounds, that has this powertrain. It's a very loud engine. The engine itself is a very, very loud under acceleration. And not only is it loud, you're getting quite a lot of vibration coming through the steering wheel itself and to my hands and in my feet through the pedals actually. So there's just a lot of drivetrain feedback in that regard coming through those areas. It's not the best drivetrain feedback. I wish that was a little bit more dampened out for this generation of RAV4, especially since it's only a hybrid now. But once you are up to speed, it's generally pretty quiet in here. All the windows are pretty large, but I think they do a halfway decent job at kind of canceling out a lot of sound. We have a huge panoramic glass roof in this particular one, and if I cover the shade, I notice that it actually gets a little bit more quiet in here, which is also quite nice to see. Now, we do have a radar adaptive cruise control as well on this RAV4. This is the latest version of Toyota's safety sense systems here, which all work really well. I'm impressed with this system this week. If it was able to do, you know, hands-free style driving in every scenario, it only can do it in the traffic conditions at low speeds. You can take your hands off the wheel, but it's a really, really great, very trustworthy overall adaptive cruise control system. And we do have lane change assist in this particular one as well. Oh, it's doing it. So we are actually now in traffic jam assist. So traffic jam assist, I can take my hands off the wheel, as long as I'm looking forward, of course. Okay, everyone, we got out of that horrific traffic that we were in, and because of that, we are now doing 55.9 miles per gallon, which really cannot complain about. Though what I was gonna demonstrate for y'all before was our lane change assist. So you have to have your hand on the steering wheel, though you can just tap your turn indicator stalk right here lightly, and I would double check always, but it does a lane change assist for you very quickly. Very cool visuals on our dash over there as well. And overall, this new Toyota Safety Sense cruise control system is fantastic. And while we are in our cruise control mode, I want to talk about this JBL audio system, because we've been in quite a few Toyotas this year, from the new Prius to the new Toyota C-HR EV, and they all have JBL audio systems, supposedly the high end, and I didn't think they were that good. I actually did not like them at all. In this RAV4, this new JBL system, I think, is actually quite good. Is it on par with Mazda's Bose level systems? Maybe not there, but it is, I think, better than the Audi Q3 that we just came out of, that had a upgraded premium Sonos speaker system. This truck is whipping it on the highway today. I actually think this is better. So let's play our audio test track, and I'll talk about that why in just a quick second. We do have a physical volume knob here and a volume knob on our steering wheel right there. So yeah, this is a better system than the Audi's Sonos system. Why? Well, I have much clearer bass levels. I feel like all of our highs, mids, bass, everything's a little bit clearer than that Sonos system. That all of those levels in the Sonos system felt a little bit washed out. And no, I'm not comparing this RAV4 and the Q3. I just wanted to compare these different audio systems because there's so many on the market now, and this one actually sounds halfway decent. Is it the most amazing audio system that we've ever tested? No, but for a general audio system, I think it's actually pretty good. And just wrapping up our week with this car, you know, everything I've really mentioned in this drive and in our full tour and review really holds true. It's crazy efficient, it's comfortable, it's tech filled. I mean, the tech in here is so much better than previous. I really do like it. It has all the features you need and want, and it has that Toyota reliability that's going to be really dragging you out through your entire ownership process, handing it down to your children and just keeping it in the family until it keeps going on and eventually stops, maybe at 1,000,000 miles, who knows. But overall, you know, this is a pretty good buy. This is the top spec limited trim. It's around 46 grand as tested. These RAV4s start at like in the low 30s, so you do not have to get this whatsoever, and you're still going to get that pure powertrain experience. It's really one of the core reasons you're looking at this RAV4, is that dependability and efficiency that is kind of unmatched right now in this entire space. There's a lot of dependable vehicles, but that get as efficient as this RAV4, that list shrinks to near zero. Some get close, but this does a really, really good job at doing so. And yeah, all the updates here really are genuinely nice to see. Could be a little bit better in the driving dynamics and the refinement of the powertrain under throttle. I would love to see that infused in the RAV4, but I guess they're never really going to do that, as there's so many other vehicles within the Toyota and Lexus family that use this platform that kind of have to have some room for that actual, you know, maybe leaning more handling and more dynamic wise. But all that car talk nonsense down the road, this is a pretty good solid vehicle. Thank you for Toyota for having us go in this for the week, and thank you all for watching yet another full tour review and POV drive over at Allcarnews. And as always, stay tuned for more coming soon. Cheers.